Here we go. All right. It's an expression of my hope in the future. Did you guys see that ABC poll that has led to a bunch of discourse? People are generally dissatisfied with Joe Biden because that's how politics works. And also a recent ABC poll put Trump like 11 points ahead of Biden, which they've written multiple articles about, by the way, which is just great. Oh, sorry, 9 points ahead. Yeah, 51 to 42. Okay, I know this sounds like Omega copium here, all right? But I have to say, okay? I do genuinely think that this poll is complete dog shit. I think that I don't know if it was made up or whatever else, but here's what I know, okay? ABC, listen, all right? First of all, there's always like a moral difficulty when posting polls that are clearly outliers. It's possible to have a really good process for polling people and then to come up with a result that is clearly not representative of the population. And the question is, do you publish, right? If you don't publish, you run the risk of kind of running cover for the candidate who does poorly. Essentially like, oh, they're doing so poorly here, it has to be fake, and blocking it. And that legitimately can be a huge problem. You don't want to normalize that. But at the same time, you know people are going to jump onto anything that supports their narrative. So releasing an outlier poll has the potential to spawn a bunch of bad discourse. Thankfully, we know the people at ABC were not sort of contemplating this moral conundrum because they released the poll and then released multiple articles talking about the poll. There's this one, there was another one, so clearly ABC has no problem milking attention for this outlier poll that they got. So no, never mind about the moral conundrum, okay? We're doing clickbait here, all right? So I don't know the exact methodology. I'm sure at some point in time, someone will do like a methodological analysis. Here's something that I do know, however. If we go down to specific subgroups, among 18 to 35-year-olds, Trump has a slight 53 to 38% advantage. A 15-point advantage to Trump amidst millennials and Gen Z. This is fake. This is not real. This is complete bullshit. There is absolutely no universe in which a 18 to 35-year-old demographic puts forward that number without either just making numbers up or extremely fraudulent. Like, this goes beyond standard deviation shit here, okay? This is like, I don't even know what kind of like methodological failure could possibly produce that kind of bias. So I think that you can safely discard the results of this poll. I think you can... I think you can toss it in the trash. I don't know how exactly it got f***ed up, but it did. So Dems have been significantly overperforming in special elections, which is a much better indicator of the current political environment. Excellent point. We'll get to that in just a second, okay? I want to make an argument to you guys, and I believe this very sincerely, all right? I believe this deep in my heart, and I want you to take it to your heart and believe it in your heart, and together with these beliefs in our heart, we can grow stronger, okay? Polls are really useful, but they're also horseshit, and we should ignore them. That's it. First of all, polling methodology seems to be breaking more and more with reality. I think that pollsters are most comfortable in a world of facts and policy, and we do not exist in that world. We exist in a world of schizophrenia, delusion, and psychopathy. For that reason, swings are going to be less predictable methodologies that are trusted, tried and true, less consistent. I think the general, I guess, reliability of polling is going to only go down with time, at least for now. I mean, at some point it'll pick back up. Maybe new methodologies will be developed, but from what I've been seeing from like RCP and 538, Nate Silver, the way he sort of explains his reasoning and thoughts, the feeling that I'm getting is that people whose job it is to be a pollster right now are throwing their arms up in the air a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of these pollsters are still using landline calls to conduct their cross-sectional analyses, but even people who aren't that out of touch and behind the times are still dealing with significant issues, I think, in like getting reliable data sampling. So that's one. For two, what does knowing the result of a poll mean? Assuming that a poll, any poll, even this dogshit fake poll, is correct, what does that mean? We got to go out there and vote for Joe Brandon, don't we? We got to go out there and say, let's go Brandon. Does that change whether or not he's very ahead or not? Like, what What effect does it have? I think that oftentimes bad polling is weaponized, but it's easier to weaponize it against us than it is against them. I'll tell you why, okay? People on the right are cultists. Trump supporters, cultists. Their brains are broken. They're delusional. They're barely people. We're trying to save them, okay? They're like thralls. Because if a poll says something they don't like, it was made by Jews, the deep state, whatever, trans peoples, transes, doesn't matter. No facts, no reality. Empty up here, completely empty. But with us, a poll makes us feel bad, and what do I see? What have I seen as a product of this ABC poll? Doomerism. I've seen people all across the political spectrum, from leftist to liberal, doing this like, oh, it's over, If the negativity works on us but not them, it's not something we should even participate in. It's not a fair battleground if we're facts-based and they're not, and therefore things that seem factually detrimental negatively affect us and not them. And good point, Eddie. We're 14 months out for one, but even if we were 2 days out, don't look at the polls. Just don't. Do your best is what you need to do. Our math does not change in any case. The only person we can vote for here is Joe Brandon. This isn't, public, there aren't like 15 parties we can choose from. There's the one, and we're going to vote for him. Look, I have my campaign merch right here. Glasses go away and reveal the glowing eyes with hot liquid inside, but I drank the coffee a while ago. Can only get that if you're an American. Don't worry about it, is what I'm saying. Really don't. And as was pointed out, this is another good metric to look at, though it also doesn't change the math. Democrats have been winning big in special elections. Democrats just scored a big win in an election on Tuesday. Democrat Hal Rafter defeated Republican James Gosofsky 56-44 to fill a Republican-backed seat in the New Hampshire State House. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. A 12-point Dem lead when it was held by a Republican before. That's pretty good. Special elections are a really good way of sort of testing the national attitude and the level of local energy, because, you get like a real life result that you can point to. Compare it to previous results. It's good data. Trends tend to follow through nationwide. Like, obviously, individual candidates, their viability, their popularity, they matter. But if the Dems overall are more energized and larger, that tends to reflect in elections across the country. Also, one last big hopium pill. Now, I had it in my head. One last big hopium pill, okay? Joe Biden might not have high favorability right now, but please do remember that the favorability for a Democrat and for Trump are two very different things. Trump's favorability is not going to change. It may vary by a few points, but generally speaking, if you're in the cult, you're in the cult. A person who supports Trump will vote for Trump and approve of Trump. And a person who does not approve of Trump will not vote for Trump. They are two overlapping categories, a Venn diagram that is actually just a circle. Whereas it is very possible for people to not approve of Joe Biden's presidency, but to vote for him because the Democrats are not a cult. It is possible to vote for a candidate you don't approve of or even dislike, which means that the favorability rating is just not representative of people's propensity for voting in one direction or another. I feel good about this. Not only have we not seen the full fallout of Donald Trump's many indictments and court cases, but also the energy level for the Republicans cannot get higher than it was in 2020. It can't. There is absolutely no way the Republicans can mobilize a higher base of support than the one that in 2020 led to a literal attempt at doing an insurrection at the Capitol. That was the highest level of fervor. And since then, it's been downhill. It's been a failed campaign with DeSantis, which took time and energy away. It's been primary infighting and bickering. It's been multiple cases against Donald Trump. It's been just energy detraction. Remember that period of time from like 2019 to 2020 up to the election where Donald Trump was campaigning nonstop and you would see him all the time? He was always doing something, always saying something. There was always some energy there. Where is that now? Where? It's not there. He speaks sometimes. When he does, he musters some energy. But he's busy. He's run out of money. He and 1 billion of his cohorts are facing federal indictments, many felony charges. He doesn't have the time or the energy. DeSantis was nothing but a drain, a waste of time. He doesn't get along with Fox. He doesn't even get along with most of the GOP anymore, as a demonstration of our positive, yes, our positive attitude and our strong hope for the election, I will now ceremonially pour hot water and hopefully not spill it on my lap because this is actually quite hot. In order to was that enough? Oh, that was enough. Okay, it just takes a second. There we go. Don't burn your fingies. Here we go. All right. It's an expression of my hope in the future. See, look, it works. Check that out. Thank you, Canoe. Turn off the lights. Does it glow? But I have like a bunch of lights in here. I don't know if I can really. I mean, I've got the light from the monitor as well. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to turn all the lights off. Let me just set this hot water. It does not glow? Ah, well. Aspirational. Anyway, will you all promise me that you are going to have a positive attitude moving forward? Don't worry about the polls. A lot of momentum's carrying us. Joe Biden's not a perfect candidate. He's been doing better than expected. There's still stuff he can do to really pump his numbers towards the end there. We'll see. Trump's energy is back, unfortunately. Ah, yeah, I saw this. Oh, I saw this. What is Blood waffling about? Oh, my God. So good.
But you have a better chance of being struck by lightning than hitting a whale with your boat. There has only been, listen to this, one such whale killed off the coast of South Carolina in the last 50 years. But on the other hand, their windmills are causing whales to die in numbers never seen before. Nobody does anything about that. They're washing up and show. I saw it this weekend. 3 of them came up. You wouldn't see it once a year. Now they're coming up on a weekly basis. The windmills.
He saw 3 beached whales in one weekend?
They're driving them crazy. They're driving the whales, I think, a little batty.
Never mind. Trump is going to win. Biden loses. It's so over for us. He's so back. Incredible. The mass whale murder must stop.